Hello everyone. I've gotten some more work done on that corner heading down towards the coal mine. I've added in trees to start to really liven up the area. Finally got track down and wired into place. Also, the ballasting has been started. There's still a lot of work to do in this area, but I want to try and get as much done on this as I can before moving on into another area. So let me take you over and show you what I've been working on. So we'll step back in time a little bit and you'll see how this slowly progresses to where it is today. Hope you enjoy what you see. So the first two sections of Flex Track have been glued in place heading down to the coal mine. Let this set up and dry before I go and move on into the next area. And that's just a small piece that needs to go in to connect into the curve before we move on down here through the area and underneath the bridge, heading down towards the coal mine. So at this point, one of the things I'm going to need to do is to really look at this area, get it all cleaned up, and start working on prepping and preparing to have this area become the coal mine. So for now, once the glue is dried, that's my next piece to put in, along with starting to get the wiring added in to be able to power the track. So the first two wires have been soldered into place. You can just see the one there in front. So there is now power going to the track. I have also gotten the small straight section glued into place, and the curve is also glued into place. Now I've temporarily set the bridge back in place. It is not connected, it's just set into place. And then I just set underneath it one of my larger locomotives. In this case, it happens to be the Baldwin Shark. And as you can see, it is a very, very tight clearance through here. Now, I don't intend to actually run the Shark down through this area, but I just wanted to make sure everything was clear. All the math said that, yeah, it should work. And yes, it just clears through. It should be a little greater spaced, but it will certainly do for what the job is that is going to happen with whatever engine is going to be pulling and pushing the coal through that area. Back behind the bridge, this area is going to start to have more trees. I just completed another tree and started a couple others. I've added in a couple of pine trees. But before I go too much further into this area, I need to finish off the backdrop. And over here, I need to finish off the backdrop, blending it down towards the top of the roadbed area. So that's where we're at. On to the next part. So at the moment I am working on just trying to hide the transition between the backdrop and the foreground. And by doing this just fools the eye and doesn't make that hard line between the two by getting all these small plants and bushes added in here. So I'm going to continue that along. I've got some grasses that I'm going to put in, some other vines that are going along there as I start to build out the trees. As you can see, I'm adding in some other trees, and that's starting to fill this in and really bring this corner to life. The construction on these two trees is coming to an end, getting pretty close to getting all the little branches added on to these two Woodland Scenics base trees. They would have originally looked something like that. So there'll be 2 more trees to soon add into the collection. I've also gone through the box of 2 boxes of super trees that I have, that I got the sagebrush kit, and I've started going through and picking out what I want to use from the sagebrush to make some other types of trees. And I've gone through the entire box, separating out all of the branches, finding ones that are going to work really nicely. I soaked all of the super tree material in a 5-gallon bucket of water overnight, allowing them to really get good and wet and soft. And I was able to separate them out to find all the good tree material that's going to work. And I've got these all hanging to dry so that they will straighten out. And those will end up becoming some other trees here on the layout. This is the rest of the box of super tree material. Some of the stuff that you see across here and down here will be usable. Some of this is it's just not going to be usable for trees, but I'll be able to break off all the little arms to create smaller branches. So this is all stuff that was just loose in the box as far as smaller branch material. So I've got quite a few trees ready to be made. Everything just needs to dry. So this area has finally been ballasted. And yes, the ballast is very neat, very clean. And yes, there are areas that could use some touch-up work, but I'm not really overly concerned because this is going to get dirtied up with coal dust from coal falling out of the hoppers, and oil and other dirt and debris. So this will get dirtied up over time. So that's how the ballast is so far. Decoration for the forest area. Got some more trees in. Finally, I've added in some other pine trees, so we have a mix between the conifers and the deciduous trees. Definitely need to fill in the middle area with a few more. This is nearly done. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed finally seeing a train being able to run through this area. Yes, I know the clearance between the track and the bottom of the bridge is very tight, very small, but I'm dealing with a smaller train layout here and dealing with the different elevation changes. That's just how that area worked out, so it barely clears. But I'm okay with that for what this layout is going to be and how it's going to be operated. That area will work just fine. I'm not doing any modern, really high types of rolling stock that would be going through that area. So hopefully next time this area will be just about wrapped up and done. start working on some other sections. I've still got a lot of track that needs to get laid down in the upper yard, and of course the entire coal mine area hasn't even been started yet, because that whole section down there is still very much a mess. I need to get that cleaned up and continue to work on that. So until next time, everyone, take care. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll come back and check out the next video.